Welcome back to Mark's workshop. Just a quick rundown. Haven't had much time to work on my 12s for 2K challenge. Just busy. I'm going on a holiday 3 weeks time for a month, so hopefully I can get that thing running. But I've got quite a few cars. I've got actually two VC Commodores. This is one of them with 308 in it, Fairlane. Under there somewhere is my old LJ two-door, which I haven't driven since September 2003. Still registered, still paid the reg on it. Small block. Moved here when I bought my house, 13 years ago. Everything's still there. There's the pipes off it. So yeah, one day. That's a one-day job. This is actually a 355 Holden. It's all done, ready to go. All machine work, the crank. That's just like anything I do, never finish them. So one day I've got to get it all done. But this one, like years ago in performance forums, they did a 13-second for 1300k challenge, and I didn't get mine finished in the time frame like normal. But at the time, this was a $150 car. It was actually on a tow truck going to a scrapyard. They come into my complex, one of the tow truck drivers, and I gave him the $150 scrapping fee that they were getting at the time to get the car. Just had a 202. It obviously wasn't painted like this, and I just got it because it was cheap, like everything. And it's all still original interior. The interior is actually quite nice. I did have to put a headlining in it, which is actually dropped down, but it's been sitting here for about a year and a half since I last drove it. Just don't get time. Pain in the ass part is can't even get the tilter door up. It's as far as it'll go. I'm gonna have to jackhammer it out. We've got really bad ground where we live, and you can't get nothing out of here. I was lucky to get that one. That's not bad. This side is. It's all lifting up. It's all damaged. So, but yeah, 13-second for $1,300 build. So, like everything I have, everything's on the budget. I like to do it. Just had a 6-cylinder in when I bought it. We bought this 308. We're talking 2011. This was. So, bought this 308. It was a stock. Pretty well basic standard 308. It was 40 over. It was in 1,000 pieces. It's got cast disc pistons. It's just got factory crank, factory rods. It's got nothing special at all. And what we did was to go on the challenge. My thing was to run just to go like a 13.8, 13.9 with a stock 308 and a little turbo. And that's where the cam, which is in my current build, come from, because this is HQ headed. We ordered a HQ headed camshaft from Comp Cams, turned up as a VN grind. It's both the same, pretty well the same size, duration. So we couldn't use it, so we ended up just going with a bit more of aggressive solid. Got another one done, kept the other cam for all this time, which is going to the 12-second build. And so this is a 236, 241 and a 108 lobe center. It's got like 550 lift, comp solid. It's a tight lash. It only runs 13 thou lash, so it's pretty aggressive for what it is. In the ramps and things like that. But so engine is basically, it's a stock bottom end. It is 40, yes, as I said, but it's disc. So the block is zero decked. So I zero decked the block. We put new rings, bearings in it, put a set of Molly rings in it. The actual cylinder heads are HQ cylinder heads, early type heads. And they had screwed up intake seats. So I had a friend put in, we used a VN 5-litre intake valve, which come out of my 355 motor that I never finished either. So we used the intake, but we kept the standard exhaust valve. So it's got an L34 size intake valve, standard exhaust valve, And all I did, I think I got some photos here somewhere, but all I did was roll the short turn in on the intake valve. There's no port work. At the time, I actually don't know where the springs are, but they're here somewhere. I had a set of single valve springs from Speedway Motors, which is just a cheap spring they do because of their spec classes that they run over there. We ran those. It does have roller rockers, which I can't even remember what brand it was, but they're actually a proper US brand, but they were old. I bought them off eBay at the time for the roller rockers and a set of heads for 150 bucks. So I think we halved the price at the time, so they were 75 bucks. And Millerton was the brand they apparently turned out to be. So they were old. They were really old. They were adjustable. They still screw down to standard post, just with a 5/16 bolt. And the only thing that's actually done to the heads, apart from the L34 size intake valve and the rockers, is we machined 100th thou of the cylinder heads, which brought this up to 10.9 to 1 compression with the disc piston with 0 deck. 100th thou off the heads, they ended up at 45 cc chambers from memory. The 236, 242 camshaft, as I said. Another old 650 carby I bought off a mate Mark Roofy for 50 bucks. It was in a fire, so I just did the normal things I did on that. You can't really see it, but it's got, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. You might see it there. It's got all adjustable air bleeds for the tuning side of it, using an 832 brass set screw. Same as what I've done to my other one, except this has got the boosters, straight boosters, and they're drilled out to 155 to compensate for the E85, the extra fuel. Medium blocks are done with 160 channels. They're still standard factory blocks. And yeah, so that's all it's done to the carby. 30cc pumps. It has we used to run a Holly Blue, like about a 20-year-old Holly Blue, but it finally died, so it's got a aeromotive thing in it. But I haven't driven this car for probably about a year and a half. I just don't get time. I just can't get the roller door or the tilter door up, so it just pisses me off. I just leave it here. And I do need to get it out, so after my holidays I'll be getting it out and having some fun again. As well as the Lexan. Now, transmission wise, got trusty old 2-speed. It does have a good MSD ignition. So I'd like to try it one day just with a standard one and a module, just to see what happens, but it does have a MSD billet distributor and coil and shit like that. But gearbox wise, it's a Powerglide again. When I first got it going, it had a 4800 converter. It had to be 30 years old as well. I got it second hand off a friend who got it from someone else. And the thing's still bang on 4800 in this. It's got 4/4 diff gears. It's got a 10 bolt with 4/4 gears. Does run a BMW rim, so a little bit lighter rim. Look like a Pursuit, but they're alloys all round. Manual valve body. Just all the same stuff in my other one. But first time the drags, like the hope was to go a 13.8. I knew I had to gear it. I wanted to try E85 because we were running that on our tractor pull racing, and I built the carbs for that, which we lucky to win a couple of Australian titles with, which was cool. So first run at the track, I said 13.8, I would have been happy. And I just wanted to run a 13, like the 13 for $1,300 challenge. I didn't spend stuff all on it. Made up my own alternator brackets, just metal. I copied one that I had spare at work and used old fluted seat poles. My dad used to build BMX bikes in the 70s, 80s and 90s, so we had some old seat poles I cut up to make for the bracket because I didn't want to spend any money. I made that myself. But yeah, first pass at the drags, hoping for like running the 13s, would have been stoked. First pass went 12.99 on 245 Kenda road tyres. you know, which are now fucked because it's been sitting around for so long. I just noticed, full of cracks. Needs use of the tyres. Yeah, first pass went $12.99, 105 I think it was, which is pretty cool. Stoked, actually, was over the moon about it. Didn't think it'd do it. Didn't realise how well this little motor was going to go. Second pass went 1287 from memory. Got all the time cards still somewhere, and got it down to, with just fine tuning the carby. Did nothing else. Never changed time. It's got 28 degrees of timing in it. Never touched the distributor once. It's had one head off it because it did blow a head gasket one time, so it's still got like we rushed to get it back together to do a kend around and just put another head gasket on one side. I don't remember what side it was, just to get it going, but it's literally never had the heads off it at that stage. Then with tuning, mucking around with it, as I said, only in the carburetor, no timing, got it down to a 1252 at 107.8. Can't remember. I'll find the cards and we'll have a look. But then I had a converter issue, and it just lost a mile an hour and things like that. So a friend of mine, Richard Ricardo, one of his mates, does torque converters, and I had an 8-inch. I've still got it at work. An 8-inch Gemini converter, which I bought off Marketplace. It was actual proper built converter for a small block, but someone had cut it open and was told it was no good. And at the time I was keen to look inside converters just for some fun, and I ended up buying it off the guy for $50 off Marketplace out of Melbourne. It was $50 to get it here, so $100. I took it into Phillip Top Dog through my mate Richard, and he cut mine open, found that we had broken fins in it. I'll get that out for a video on that because I kept everything. And he pulled all the good stuff out of the $50 converter that was in pieces, and put it into my converter to get it repaired. And with ended up putting a mechanical diode in it and things like that because it was in the other converter. We just used it, so it was a bonus for my side of it. But put it in, and first pass off the trailer went 12:31 I think it was. So it picked up 2/10 just by going from it went from a 4800 stall to a 54. So this little motor needed it, needed converter. And yeah, it went, by the end of mucking around with it, best it's gone is 1226 at 109 or 108.9. I'll have to find that card and I'll post that up. But yeah, it's just a cool little combo. The motor, the carburetor, transmission was kind of free. Converter, when it was repaired, it was $300 to get the repair done. At this stage, we were running in the 12, so it didn't matter. I raced this thing for 2 years. Did QDRC rounds at Willowbank, and was at top 4 positions at one stage out of 25 cars. It was consistent. This thing is consistent as foot brake. Yeah, then what else happened to it? I can't really remember, but it was just a cool car. It's got, oh, that's right, the motor. So take away it's got about the time I think the distributor was about $450. They were cheap back then, and it's got a 6AL in it. But the motor itself, with the carburetor, owed me $1,050. So it's a $200 motor, rings, bearings, decked the heads, decked the block, had the intake valve put in it, and mate cut the seats, and that's it. Oh, and a camshaft, second-hand lifters, second-hand roller rockers, and the push rods were actually I was lucky through my times, ran sprint cars for a while, not competitively, couldn't afford it, wasn't fast enough. Still have them, still got my cars, but I had a box of stuff that a mate brought in from the US with a heap of gear, and after decking the block, I think it was 40 thou or something we took off the deck, 100 thou off the heads. There was a set of there was 15 push rods in the stuff that my mate brought in with all this junk that were exactly the right size. I had to buy one push rod, which I think they were $25 at the time. just for one push rod. So it does have good heavy duty wall chrome moly push rods in it as well, but they were cheap. So, but yeah, it ended up working. It was a $1,050 motor, and it went a best of 1228. Sorry, 1226 at 108, 109 mile an hour. So it's cool. I love this thing, but with work and whatever, and my door that never opens, and I just never drive it. So I keep paying the rego, and like all my cars. And but yeah, so had someone ask me about it. You know, so I thought I'd just post a little post up on it. It's actually my birthday today, and I'm just sitting home doing nothing. I was bored, so I thought I'd get a little video of it. I'd like to get it out and wash it, but I fucking can't because of the door. But yeah, there's my car from 2011 from the, as I said, $1,300 13-second challenge. To be honest, my ignition put me over, but I didn't have a decent ignition at the time, so we just put that in it. But shows you can do it on nothing. Gearbox is basic, manual valve body, it's 5 clutches in it, 4 reverse I think, and but yeah, that's it. It's all made up out of junk, which I like to do. No, you can't buy motors this price anymore, or you probably can, but literally you do not have to do anything to have a 12-second Holden 308. Oh, actually, sorry, it does have an Edelbrock Torque manifold, which I bought off one of my brother's mates, or my mate as well, Matt Coxey, and it had corrosion in the water jackets and things like that, and front and rear all around. So my dad made BMX bikes, you know, so he was a highly rated person in BMX in Australia, but he was an alloy fabricator, and so he welded up the water jackets for me in the manifold, and my mate Johnny, he just machined it flat. We had to mill it anyway to compensate for the deck of the block and the heads. But yeah, it does have an Edelbrock single plane manifold. It would be good to try it on a dual plane one day, but I don't really want to pull this motor apart. It's cool. I want to get my shit together, get my 355 going, and put that in the car. But yeah, so sorry for the ramble on, but it's a cool old car. Just sits here. I don't even know when that was. It was a Super Street 36, 10th of the 12th. I don't even know when that was. That's been on there for years. Never took it off. But yeah, so the only other thing is what happened, we did Street Machine Drag Challenge, the Queensland one that they had up here, and carring, you know, consistent all weekend. We did the big drives and blah blah blah, and on the way home, jokingly with a mate, we just chatting in the car on the drive, and yeah, I was just saying how reliable it was, and you know, Murphy's Law as it works. As soon as I said that, the car started making a noise, a little rattle in it, got a little rattle on top end, and down a little bit further, I'm like, we're just going to drive this thing home, and we'll worry about it when we get home. But it ended up breaking a valve spring. When I broke one of the Speedway motors, single valve springs. So what I've done is it now has Speedway motors double valve springs. Can't remember the part number, but it's a crane part number, and things like that. I just machined it for dual springs on the heads, and Max inside. Max, the dog, please. Sorry, my dog's just trying to get out. Gotta go and close the door. Yeah, so I put on dual valve springs. I've only been back to the drags once. It hasn't gone as fast. It went slower with the big springs, so we're going to put a lighter spring on it one day, hopefully, and free it up a bit. Yeah, but yeah, so sorry for the ramble on. It's about building a cheap motor. If I wanted to really do on the cheap for the 12 for 2K build, I'd just stick this combo in it and gut the car. It's a 12-second car straight away. So in all honesty, I'm not going for 12s with the turbo on the VN 5 litre, but I want quicker. But that's to show that you can do it with any old Holden. It's just a basic Holden was rebuilt sometime at stage with 40,000 disc pistons and so on. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Sorry it's not the best videos, but hope you like it. If you're new to it, subscribe, check my other videos out. We are going to do more. I'm off on the holidays soon, as I said. I'm actually going to the US. Going to try and buy a car there while we're there, and because my partner we like going travelling over there, and just have something, one of mid 80s Camaro that we can go the drags with, drive it around instead of hiring cars all the time. But yeah, so don't know if I'll get another one done before I go, but yeah, this is originally was my, as I said, 13-second for 1300 buck build. I went way over because of the ignition, but if I'd got a standard one to work, would have been well within the money. So, all right, thank you. Thanks for watching.